Allan Kieta says when a suspected intruder targeted his Indianapolis home, he couldn't see who was there because he's blind.
I was going to go check to see, was someone knocking at the door or something. And as soon as I opened the bedroom door and stepped through, I ran right into the guy.
What the suspect didn't realize, Kieta says, is that he is a former wrestler and the son of a Marine. As seen in this reenactment video, Kieta says he grabbed a knife from the kitchen to protect himself. The pair fought for 40 minutes. Kieta has the skin knuckles to prove it. He didn't let up, he says, because he feared for his life.
I was asking why my house, and he was going, I was looking for my cat. And I go, your cat? I go, you're in my house.
Once the man was subdued, Kieta called 911.
I have an intruder, and right now I have him with a knife.
Stay on the line, don't hang up. Did he break in?
Yes, he did.
Has he hurt you in any way?
No, not yet.
Is he trying to fight with you at all right now?
No, I got the knife to his neck.
You have him pinned up, right?
Yeah, I'm on the front door.
Okay.
25-year-old Castro Alvaro was arrested for the Class D felony of residential entry and spent the day in the hospital before being released. He told police he's a friend of Kieta's daughter and was looking for a cat. As for Allan Kieta, he still has the jacket from his days as a high school wrestler and now hopes he's won his final bout. For today, Kevin Tibbles, NBC News, Chicago.
And Allan Kieta is here with his wife, Kathy, daughter Alexandra, and son Alan. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
How are you feeling?
Pretty good.
You are?
Not as sore as I was the first couple of days, but pretty good today.
Describe the first couple of minutes of this struggle, this encounter. It just sounds unbelievable. You walk into the hallway and bam, this guy's on you.
It was, and I keep thinking, I was even thinking about that last night. What happened? I'm not sure if he attacked me. It was just, as soon as I ran into him, it was just like a war started, and it was like mayhem for the first few seconds until I was able to get him down, and then things started calming down a little bit.
You were able to get him down. You were a wrestler,
yes,
back in the day, a good one, by the way, a champion wrestler, and so you found a way to get this guy on the ground, but again, not being able to see, he's got a huge advantage over you. How were you able to neutralize this guy?
Well, in wrestling, you have to get control of him, and by doing that, you either have to go forward or you have to turn. We were in the hallway, so there wasn't any way to circle him, so I basically just came straight at him until I could get a hold of him and then pull him down, and I was on top of him.
I want to mention something because think about how tired, if anybody's ever been in a fight, after 30 seconds, you're exhausted. This struggle went on for 30 or 40 minutes. And it went from the kitchen to the laundry room, the hallway, all these rooms. Finally, you get in the kitchen with this guy after using this trick your father taught you, where you grab his belt and you basically lifted him up so he fell forward.
Right.
You managed to find a knife in the kitchen. And I was thinking as I read this, Alan, thank God you found the knife and he didn't get the knife. Where'd you find this knife? Was it in a drawer? Was it out in the open?
Well,
you know where everything is.
Yes. I love to cook, and it's sitting right beside the stove on the right. The kind of odd thing was, there was only one knife left, and it was a big one. All the others were in the dishwasher. So it was really easy to find. It was the only one there, sticking out of the wood block.
After you held the knife to this guy and you got him down for a while, you start to try to dial 911, and at like 20 attempts with your left hand. Is it true that at some point he said to you, look, if you won't kill me, I'll actually dial the phone for you?
I think what it was is I was getting frustrated, so my right hand just kept getting tighter and tighter on his neck. And I kept trying and trying. I was getting frustrated, and that's when he said, I will, please let me dial it and don't kill me. So.
Alan, Alexandra, Kathy, when you hear this story, is this something you thought, yeah, you know what, that's pretty much the way I thought it would go if Dad ever got attacked, or does this surprise even you?
It's kind of surprising that he struggled for that long, but he's pretty beast-like, so.
He's beast-like, yeah. And so the only blood after all of this struggle, knife to the throat, 34 minutes, was the intruders, right?
Correct.
You really didn't get cut in this at all?
No. I lost a little bit of height on my knuckles, and I don't think they were bleeding, so my jaw was really sore the next day. Got a couple shots, but
you went to work, and your coworkers gave you some trophies.
Yes, they
here.
did. They
have a good sense of humor, these guys, don't they?
They do.
And is there anything when you first of all, who was this guy? Do we know? I know he's in jail. What was he looking for?
I can only assume that it turns out that afterwards that we found out that he actually was one of the workers that we had hired to do some lawn service, which was in the neighborhood. So, and that was like 3 years ago, and he had befriended my son and my daughter. So, he kind of knew the lay of the land. I can only assume that he thought, and I should have been at work. I was taking the day off. I can only assume he thought it was going to be a real easy... Yeah,
easy pickings.
Yeah.
And when you think back, Allan, anything you would have done differently? I know hindsight's 20/20. Is there anything you would have done differently in this struggle?
When the dog was barking and she was really agitated, I probably should have been a little more cautious, like maybe not just open the door and charge down the hallway, maybe just hindsight say, you know what, there might be someone in the house, and get the phone before I start walking around in the house. I think I was extremely lucky that he didn't have a weapon.
Are the doors locked now?
Yes, they are.
You don't leave doors open in the house anymore?
Even when we're there.
Even when you're there, that's good news. Listen, I'm just happy you're okay, and it's an extraordinary story and an extraordinary feat that you pulled off. So, Allan, thanks very much for being here. Kathy, Alexandra, and Allan, thank you very much. You must be very proud of your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. Thanks. We're happy you're okay.